Hey everyone, Vincenzo Calla here. Welcome to episode 5 of Let's Discuss Politics. Today, I am glad to be joined by the Ontario PC MPP for Mississauga Lakeshore, Rudy Cuzzetto. Rudy is a lifelong resident and active community member of Mississauga Lakeshore. Rudy spent 31 years with Ford Motor Company and has an understanding of Ontario's manufacturing sector. Rudy was elected in 2018 and currently serves as the parliamentary assistant to the president of the Treasury Board and serves on many committees. Thank you, Rudy, for joining me today.
And thank you, Vincenzo, for having me here today. It's always an honor to be on your program, and I can't wait to get this started.
Thanks, Rudy. So we're going to start off with the first segment called Rudy's Story, where we'll talk about your story and your political history. So first is, when did you first get involved in politics?
Well, I started in politics at the age of 14 in my riding of Mississauga Lakeshore, helping the former MPP, Margaret Marlin, with, be honest, putting up signs, going door to door, knocking on doors, as well as my federal MP at the time was Don Blencarn, and I was helping him as well. Just same type of thing, putting up signs, knocking on doors, and just helping with campaigns.
Well, that's the way that so many of us get started in politics. I know that that's one of the ways I started getting involved in politics, through elections. Elections are kind of like that golden time where you can get involved in politics. There's so much going on and there's so many ways to get involved that way. And also through just doing different things and getting involved at a young age or other age. Doesn't matter when you get involved. If you get involved and you're passionate about politics, that's all that matters, no matter when you get involved.
And I agree totally. It doesn't matter what age you get involved, but I think it's very important to get involved with politics. And it really doesn't matter what political party you get involved with. It's just to get to know more about what politics really means and what it can do for your community.
Exactly. Like on this show, I'm having so many different people from so many different political parties on, talking about their stories and their discussions and their ways of getting involved. And really, as long as you find a party that fits and something that you agree with, getting involved in politics, because that's the way that our country is run. We're a democracy. Politics are a big part, especially in this past year. We've seen that politics play a big part in all of our lives. So that is definitely something good to get involved in.
And if you notice in the last year how all three levels of government worked together, and it didn't matter what political party you belong to, we all work together to get things done, to get through this COVID-19 crisis.
Exactly. So we're going to go on to the next question, which is, why did you decide to run for the position you hold, which is the MPP for Mississauga Lakeshore?
Well, like I always say, I've been involved since the age of 14 in Mississauga Lakeshore, and I've worked on many campaigns as well as campaign chairs to nominations. And I thought it was very important to get involved this time and run and put my name on the ballot, because I saw there was no future for my children in the province of Ontario. After 15 years of mismanagement and reckless spending from the previous Kathleen Wynne government, I thought it was time that I would step up and do what we had to do to improve our economic future of this province.
Well, I mean, we've seen with so many, especially in most recent elections, I would say probably 2015 on, federal elections, provincial elections, it really has been what do I want my future to look like? And I think that has accelerated even more in the past year and a bit with the federal election that just happened. And we're going to a provincial election next year. We're seeing more and more people step up, people who aren't usually in politics, step up and get involved in politics. And we're truly grasping the meaning of, well, federally, the House of Commons, the common people run for office, and same with provincially, just a group of people from all different walks of life coming together to represent their community for the better and do what they believe is best, no matter what party they're from. So our next segment is called Serving as an Elected Official, where we'll talk about your experiences and achievements as an elected official. So what is your favorite part about serving your community of Mississauga Lakeshore as an elected official, as the MPP?
Well, I think the most important part is helping the people of the riding of Mississauga Lakeshore. I find that very rewarding, every day getting up and doing something for the community, like it's nice to go to Queen's Park and debate at Queen's Park, but I think the most important thing is being in your community, representing your community and helping them, especially during COVID-19. I don't know if you are aware of all the fortunate help that we've had from different groups. We had Sure Good Food donate 35 tons of chicken to our local food banks, our hospitals. So, and as well as Lysol Canada coming forward and helping us with Lysol for our long-term care facilities, for our daycares, for our I said long-term care as well. Like things like that. These are incredible people, and this is where the Premier always says the Ontario spirit and the Ontario heroes. These are people, ordinary companies that stepped up during this time, and that's what makes me so proud of being an MPP and representing my community.
Well, that's the thing with being an MPP. That's the job, is representing your community. And by representing your community, you get to make those connections with the people that in your community that want to make a difference. And you go to represent them in the legislature in Queen's Park, which is closer for you, not so close for so many different people across Ontario. We're a big province, but overall it's one common meeting place for everybody to represent their communities. And that really is the job. I've talked with so many people, and that's always what everybody comes to, that the job of an MP or an MPP or a councillor or a mayor or whatever, as long as you're in politics, your job is to represent the people and work with the people.
I totally agree with that. And one thing you should do as an MPP, MP, or never forget where you came from, because that is the most important thing. Always remember your roots and who brought you there, and remember that on a daily basis, because that's how you stay connected with your community.
Exactly. Every 4 years or whenever we go to an election, and it's the people of the community that choose you. So that is who you should be fighting for. That is who everybody fights for when they're representing in the House of Commons or legislature, in Queen's Park, on Parliament Hill, or wherever they are. So the next question is, what is your favorite achievement as an elected official in these past couple of years you've been an MPP?
Well, I have a couple of real great achievements in Mississauga Lakeshore. We're going to be getting a large investment of over $9 billion to build a brand new hospital in our riding. It will be the largest hospital in Canadian history at the Queensway location right now, as well as our building of our 640-bed long-term care facility in the riding of Mississauga Lakeshore. The funding of the LRT, the creation of the new BRT down Lakeshore, as well as the rehabilitation of the Credit River Bridge. So these are large achievements over the last three years, not even 4 years, 3 years in the riding of Mississauga Lakeshore. And never mind the small achievements like funding for the Mississauga Canoe Club or the Dawn Rowing Club. But these are large achievements that we have been able to bring down to the riding of Mississauga Lakeshore.
Well, Mississauga Lakeshore, I was there actually. I was quickly driving by a couple of months ago. I came down to the Toronto area, and growing community for sure. Different community, big community with lots of different projects like you were speaking about happening. And that really is like just working with your community and getting those projects is so important. And that's what you do as an MPP. There's so many roles that you hold in that position, but one of them obviously is fighting for your community and bringing what your community needs to them every day that you work that job. And for the past 3 years, and however long you may be the MPP for, that is basically it.
Yeah, correct, totally correct. And I'm so proud to be representing this community that I was brought up in, and my family's been here 4 generations. I think it's so important to have deep roots in your community to represent your community, because you understand what it's all about.
Exactly. So the last segment is called Politics Are All Around Us, where we will talk about the world of politics around us. So question 1, who is or who was another politician that inspires you as an MPP?
Well, there's a few that have inspired me through my life. Would be Margaret Marlin, our former MPP in Mississauga Lakeshore. She was she's always said to me, like, you have to always care about your community and worry about your community and back your community on every issue. And I agree totally. And another one is Hazel McCallion. I remember growing up, in Port Credit, and I remember the train derailment here in Mississauga Lake. Oh, it was a little north of Mississauga Lakeshore. And I remember Hazel as a young mayor at the time, just newly elected, and being out there at the train derailment and representing the community. And these are people that have really inspired me to work hard and care so much for the community that I was brought up in.
Well, those are two great, strong women who were riding your city, different cities, and just doing so many different things. And it's important that as an elected official, or even as people who are interested in politics, or anybody interested, to just see people that they believe in, people that they liked what they did, and sort of use that as a, hey, I like what they did, maybe I can learn from them, or maybe I don't like what they did, so maybe I can learn from that too. Or that's the thing with constantly growing and looking towards people like Hazel, who is the mayor for so long and continues to be a Canadian icon for sure in the political world, from all stripes. Really, everybody looks at Hazel and sees her as an icon, because you're a mayor for that long and you gain a little respect from everybody for sure.
Oh, she's gained a lot of respect. And, I'll tell you the truth, she walks into a room and everybody wants to speak to Hazel. And it's unbelievable how great she was as the mayor of Mississauga. I think there'll never be a mayor like Hazel McCallion.
Definitely. So the last question is, what do you think is an issue that needs to be focused on more in our political world, or just generally?
Well, the issues that we are focusing on right now is healthcare and long-term care. And healthcare has been neglected from, a lot of governments. We used to get 50% funding for healthcare to the province. And right now, I think it's 23% funding to the province from the federal government. We're asking them for 33% funding because we need funding for healthcare. We've noticed what's happened during COVID-19 that's caused a lot of issues through our ICU beds not having enough in the province of Ontario because of lack of funding that, it's happened from previous governments. I'm saying of all stripes. It's not only, the Liberal government, Conservative, but all stripes of governments have cut funding to the province. And I think that's what we need right now. And as well as long-term care. There's been neglect in long-term care. And finally, Premier Ford and Minister Rod Phillips is building long-term care in this province of Ontario. We're building 30,000 new beds in the province, compared to in the last 11 years, there was only 611 beds built in the province of Ontario. If you compare even my riding of Mississauga Lakeshore, we're building 640 beds in an accelerated build. That was more than the previous government built in 11 years through the whole province of Ontario. So these are great things we're doing right now as a government, and we got to continue doing them moving forward in years to come.
Well, definitely, like so many things, there has been a light shone on our institutions like healthcare and long-term care and education and all the different things that people perhaps did think about before, but not to the level that they think of now. And now people will always see COVID as this wake-up call, really, for the government, for people that are living in these long-term care homes, for the families. It's been a wake-up call, and really it's going to be forever changed because of the pandemic. Forever it will be changed because of this, and really probably for the better, because it brought some issues to light that we didn't really focus on before.
And I agree totally. I think this pandemic has shone a light on all these issues, and in a way it was good, because now we notice where we have to invest more in the province of Ontario. And around the world, let's be honest, right?
Exactly. It's everywhere. Everybody has issues, and everybody needs to focus on different things. So that is all for today. Thank you, Rudy, for joining me. If you like today's interview, make sure to check out my other interview with Rudy on Instagram for Top 5 and 5. If you're watching this at the premiere, it will come out on Friday on Instagram. So to stay updated, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at VC Productions 25. Check out my website at vincenzocalla.com and make sure to like, subscribe, and choose to get notifications here on YouTube. Let's Discuss Politics is a VCalla production. So until the next video, I'm Vincenzo Calla, signing out.